action.
Rolling.
Rolling.
There's nothing actually rolling.
There's nothing rolling. Yeah. Except your fucking eyes.
Yeah, right. Right. Click, click, click.
What's good, you creeps?
As you can tell, unscripted. Unscripted podcast. Fucking 85% of your stuff is about murder.
About murder. That's fair. Because our listeners love fucking murder. Hit them up with the Gmail.
You can send us an email with your suggestions, comments, or concerns at basedontrueeventspodcast@gmail.com.
Boom. What's up?
What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up?
That man, I almost wore my vacation hat down here because I'm in the vacay mood.
Yeah, you need it with that fucking haircut.
Dude, and that was the other reason I almost wore it.
Yeah.
I figured the headphones were going to cut her. Yeah, good.
Yeah. I don't know about that. Remember that movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Remember Christopher Lloyd, like, when he, like, right before he turns into the fucking cartoon at the end of the movie?
Vaguely.
Yeah, like, he had that haircut.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah. You accomplished it. You done well.
Thanks, man. Did it myself. Clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
You did not miss your calling as a barber.
No, it's not as easy as it looks.
No. Well, I imagine that they, you pay them to make it look easy and fast.
And fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I shave my own head, which is extremely easy now. Like, I don't need a mirror. Like, I don't need...
Right.
And, like, I just take it down with a razor, and then I dry shave it with a fucking disposable razor or whatever.
Oh,
or safety
my God.
razor. Yeah, I usually use a safety razor, but...
Yeah, it's got the cabin fever written all over it,
Yeah.
just peeling your skull. Oh,
but
God.
once you get good at it, like, I mean, I don't expect anybody to try this, like,
Yeah.
right
Try
off
to
the
sit on
hook.
the tree.
But with some, you know, I mean, I've been having to shave my head since I was 23, so...
Yeah. Well, I might be starting because I cut down short, and I was like, because right in the back there's no hair, because I'm straight up bald. Like, I'm not going to be the comb over dude, you know what I'm saying? And it's just eking its way forward,
Yeah.
and it's meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
So eventually I'll be there with you.
Yes. I mean, it's been a long time that you got to hold on to it.
I know, right? 43 years.
23, baby. 23, it was like, like, give up.
It's time. It's time.
You know? So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, at least I don't have, like, big, like, lumps and fucking horns growing out of my head.
First time I cut my hair, I went, zoop, and I go, well, I guess I'm going to find out what my head looks like.
Yeah.
And I was worried that it was going to be the weird, unicorn fucking forehead,
Yeah.
some knots or something. My head's fairly straight, I guess. Round, not straight.
Okay. I mean, you could look like Sloth. That's not straight.
No, it's not. Enough about my hair. What's up with you?
Dude, I'm in the fucking weeds, man. I'm in the
Are you
fucking
really?
weeds in life.
Oh, just
Yeah,
in
just
general.
like in general. Like, it's just like... Well, so, before you have to go into, like, forced quarantine for 2 weeks, we're recording an extra night this week, which
Right.
pushed everything in my life back a day.
Which, thanks, Ash.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
So, which is like, I mean, we've recorded weird days. That's not really a big issue.
But we got back on our schedule again, like kind of,
Well, that and the fact that like when we were doing during the week, like, my job is never just fucking take off, like, bullshit hangout kind of job.
Right.
But now it's like busy. So
You said, I think, 2 or 3 episodes, you're like, it's coming.
yeah. So, and we're not even like the busy of the busy. Like we're just in the we're just letting you know.
Yeah.
We're knocking on the door. And not to talk about work and shit, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, so because of that, like, I mean, I think I got off my, like, last conference call today at 5 o'clock, and the kid walked in the door at 5:05, and, my wife's sister came over to hang out and play with the kid, and hang out with my wife and me, And then at 6 o'clock hard, my fucking family Zoom meeting that we do every week. And then I'm trying to shovel food in my face and then walk out the door to come do this. So it's
well, I was feeling that.
That's today.
Hence,
that's just today.
Hence my 8:15, please. And then
Yeah.
I was like, never mind. I got my shit done.
Yeah, no.
I had a nail in my tire this morning, and I was like, cool. We're going on a road trip tomorrow, so that's fun.
Neat.
I'm gonna get it plugged, and then they're like, yeah, you can't plug those kind of tires. They got this foam in it, and I'm like, blah blah blah. I was like, what's the deal? They're like, new tire. I'm like, god damn.
Well, that's a nice expensive morning.
Yeah. Well, the best part was it was right across from work, so I was like, sweet. So I literally dropped it off, walked across the street. Well, 4:30 hit, and I'm like, man, I haven't got a call. What time did they close? And I look online, 4 o'clock, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, literally, I'm leaving. And so I called him, the phone just rang and rang. I'm like, motherfuckers aren't there. So I start walking over there, and then finally the dude answers, well, yeah, we close at 5. But, I was like, you'll have to say 4 online so nobody shows up.
So we didn't show up at fucking 4.
So I had a
4:15.
full-on panic attack. Like, we're supposed to leave early, but you know what? We're on vacation. Then I changed my tone, and I was like, it don't fucking matter. I'll pick my shit up in the morning. Like, whatever.
I'm glad you can do that, man. I'm still full throttle all the fucking time, dude. Like,
I have to.
Like, I think it's just life in general. Like, I just can't. Like, if you're fucking with me, like if you're fucking with my time, like I mean,
my emotions.
Like I understand shit happens. Like I'm not saying that, but like, if I can see in you that my time does not matter to you,
right.
And you're just like fuck it, like I'm gonna shit down your throat and you're gonna fucking know it. Like I do not care.
Do not care.
Like fuck it, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, to each his or her own.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, to change complete directions with you,
Cool.
as I usually do.
I'm good.
Yeah. I told you I was going to do this too. So, you sent me a meme.
Oh, you fuck. Has this year not been bad enough? Are we really going to do this?
Yeah.
We're really going to do this.
People have discovered a really creepy number that you can dial that is wired to a conversation between a mother and a daughter.
I sent this to you. I fucking immediately regret it.
You can find this number by Googling 9-inch nails number. I'm not going to get into details about what they say, but I can tell you it's extremely creepy and you should only dial it if you are brave enough. So Shep sent me that, and I'm literally, I'm calling that shit on the next episode, right? And you didn't respond, so.
I figured no matter any way I would respond, it would. I was really hoping that would fall by the wayside, that I loaded you up with enough other shit.
I Googled it, and there is a number, so let's see.
Oh, you haven't called it yet?
No.
So we're going to jump into it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go in this blind.
I hope somebody doesn't answer. Well, look at that. We'll see what happens.
I hope it's a fucking tire place. I would laugh my ass off.
We're sorry. The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service.
Well, that was lame. But just because I had a feeling, I actually
Found the recording.
I
on
found
YouTube.
well, there was some videos, but I figured instead of doing that and whatever, so I'll just read it real quick because it's short. I had a feeling because everything I kept reading, it was kind of dated, so that was probably like an older thing or whatever, but whatever. So the transcript goes, there was a case identified, blah, 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 oops, and it says, Mommy. The mom says, hello. Mia says, Mommy, are you there? Oh my God, I'm at the club. First of all.
At the club.
At the club, like a grown woman saying Mommy. But, okay.
Well, okay.
She's, I guess, scared. I don't know. You need to get me out of here. I'm going to die. Oh my God. I'm going to die. Gunshots and scream. Mommy. Mia, what's going on? He killed Joey, so I locked myself in the stock room, and now I can't get out, and everybody's got it. What is going on? This guy, he came into the club really freaked out, and we didn't even see the knife, and his shirt was soaked red. And Joey said, holy shit, you need a doctor. And then the guy just stabbed him, and he was sweating blood and screaming, and he wouldn't stop until somebody killed him with a bottle. Crash, scream from Mia. Honey, okay, wait, I'm going to call the cops. Screaming, they're outside. Don't call the cops. They're already here. They're the ones who locked us in. What? I've got to fight. I need a weapon. A gun. You're going to be okay. You're going to make it out of there. I'll be up there in 5 minutes. Mia, you okay? Mommy, you there? Blood. There's blood coming out of my skin. Mia, listen. You need to listen. Mommy, I need you to take care of my dog. Okay, the food. Screaming. Mia, what's going on? Get me the hell out of here. Tell me what's going on. Oh my God, please help me. Please, God. Mia. Reorder tone and hang up. So that's what it was. Now, if it had been... well, right. So I tried to picture if I had just called the number and could it have been creepy? Man, I don't know.
I feel like that's like some guerrilla marketing tool for like a horror film.
I feel like it's a total
or an album like a 9 Inch Nails album.
Well, that's actually on the 9 Inch Nails wiki. I was like, that's a thing. Okay.
Well, I remember many moons ago,
many
watching that like fucking. They kind of sold it like a snuff film. It wasn't like they didn't sell it, but like you could find it like in the dark areas of the internet, like if you went searching. But it was a 9 Inch Nails video, and it was like the guy who kills himself supposedly.
I remember this. Yep.
I remember watching that forever and ever ago. My tastes have like we definitely like went through that period where it was like find the worst shit that you can see on the internet. And see if, like, we'd all, like, sit around and see if, like, who would fucking tap out first from the horrible shit.
What is those, the pain games? Or
the BME Pain Olympics.
That's what it is.
And then there was, like, the
Faces of Death.
Faces of Death, and then you had the...
I tapped out at the monkey, where they're sitting around eating. I was like,
the BME Pain Olympics was a rough one. And then, of course, like, Two Girls in a Cup, which was just fucking made you want to fucking vomit.
I was I did but I should have watched the videos of people reacting, which was actually hilarious.
Yeah.
But I watched 30 seconds. I don't even know. Like as soon as
you see it,
you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to continue to watch? It's not even funny at that point.
Yeah. No. Well, it's funny if you watch other people watch it.
The reaction videos are hilarious.
Yes, but the people who watch it, like I couldn't, like, dude, I was like, no.
No.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot of like really horrible shit on the internet, as we have obviously found over the course of you know our time with it, and the people who put all of this horrible shit onto the internet. That's why we're here, guys. We're sifting through the garbage.
That's what we're doing. Bringing you only the choice stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're very desensitized.
Well, I mean, it's like I mean, I guess if you haven't listened to the episode, I'm about to spoil it, but our Russian sleep experiment episode was kind of, and Slenderman, like those are internet babies.
The creepypasta.
So,
which I love those episodes, but I was strangely you've done that a few times to me though, where I like feel bad for being disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, what is wrong with me? I should fucking like relieved.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, because I was so sucked in. So go back and listen to those again.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, yeah, I was not...
Well, where would they go back and listen to those episodes? So,
hey, well, I would start at our website.
Yeah, that's probably a good place.
Boom, best transition yet, dude. Best segue to date.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this seems like a good place to interject a quick pitch.
That worked out. So, BOTEpodcast.com is what we're talking about.
BOTEpodcast.com.
You can find all our social media links. You can go to the Patreon. You can email us, which is really, what Shep would like. He would prefer. So if you want to talk to Shep, go straight to the email. If you want to get a hold of me, I'd probably start at Instagram or Facebook.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter.
Yeah, people have gotten unsolicited advice from you on Twitter.
That's very true.
And which I love, man. It's been a wild ride watching your Twitter game.
At first, I will say, I was like, I don't know about Twitter. I like the pictures, and but I was like, no, Twitter's more interactive, and the conversations are hilarious. Yeah. So it's gotten fun. And we got a lot of followers that interact, and so it's cool. I've started to enjoy it. So wherever you want to reach out, reach out.
Okay. Plugins done it.
Plugins done it.
So we got I Wrote for BOTE.
I Wrote for BOTE.
You send us a suggestion. We like your suggestion. That month you win a shirt.
Free shirt.
You get to email us, or we'll email you back if you're the winning suggestion, and we'll discuss the shirt with you.
Yeah, we'll say what's up, and we'll find out where the hell you live, and show up at your house.
You do not get a hand-delivered shirt.
I swear you don't.
Yeah. And then we have You Choose, We Lose.
That's right.
Building your podcast the way you like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is episode 3 tonight, actually.
Yeah,
Of
it
the
is.
first of the 4 cents coming back.
Right. So, and then, you know, we throw out 4 suggestions. You kind of pick them up, you know, the order that you want them in, and then
You choose which ones you want to hear first.
yeah, and then you choose which one of us gets to tell
Gets to do
that
it.
story.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys started off this month strong with child murder.
Back to back.
Back-to-back child murder.
Yours was worse,
Yeah.
I will say. They were both horrible and horrific, but yours was... That one little bit where you're telling about the whole, what actually happened, I was just... Like, I got nothing. Because I didn't know it was that brutal. I mean, obviously I am...
Well-
The title was Girl Scout Murder, so... I mean,
Well,
I kind of... But you had said, what if they were the killers? Which would have been kind of awesome. Except that it's still true.
Yeah. So, you know, we're doing the next 2 episodes tonight, or not tonight. We're doing 1 episode tonight, and then we're following that up. The episode after this one will be the last of the 4, and then we'll put out the 4 more suggestions.
That's right.
And we'll go from there. I don't know. I might drop a episode in the middle.
We usually kind of do that, where we
Break it for a little
we
while.
throw an audible, or we just throw in something that we're sitting on. So,
Yeah. There's some stuff that's rattling around in these old noodles that
yeah.
just need to be exercised.
Yeah, there's a few that I've been researching, and I'd really like to just put them to bed.
Put 'em to
like,
bed,
get past it, because
Yeah.
they're still in my, like, search
Yeah.
list and history, and I'm like, ah.
You and I have talked in the past about one that's been kind
Yeah.
of fucking with my head for a while. And I don't know that I've got the angle on it yet, but I've been close. I've been narrowing
That's a
it
big
down.
one, man.
I've been narrowing it down.
That's a
so.
big one. Well, tonight's a pretty fucking big story as well.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
surprised. I'll be interested to see how you fit this into an hour.
Yeah. Well,
I think I will say before we
Yeah.
start,
Yeah.
I believe that this is the first time in our
It is.
80-some episodes, 77 that are still posted,
whatever it is, yeah.
76 that are still posted, that you and I both wanted to do the same story.
Literally the first time.
It really is the first time I think we. I mean, I
It's
think
almost always cannibal. I'll do it. And you're like, yeah, good.
yeah, yeah, like so. I think there's been some times where like it's kind of been on the borderline. Like I think the closest that we've ever gotten is like, all right, I will do it. Like
Right,
like
okay,
it's
I'll do
okay.
that one.
Yeah, it's like it's never like let's do this.
Sweet. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's like so. This is the first time I think we both we were kind of wanting to do this episode.
Right.
So.
Well, and so in the spirit of that, I figured instead of, well, I'm going to do my volley somewhat, but I really will be kind of asking you, because even if you don't do research on this, more than likely you'll know something about it or have an opinion on it.
Right.
And so I figured,
And I lived through. I wasn't there.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
I gotta do angle.
Yeah. No, I wasn't
I'm
there.
interviewing
I,
Jeff.
I wasn't obviously there, but I remember this being on the news and shit. Like I remember
Yeah,
the
man.
thing playing.
It's crazy as hell. So
What episode are we doing?
So
What should we doing?
we're doing Waco.
We're doing Waco, Texas.
So it was one of the top 4 listener suggested topics, and you guys chose it to be number 3. And honestly, on this one, I don't even think I asked who do you want to do it. We just both wanted to do it, so we had the conversation. So yeah, we cheated a little bit. Fuck it. It's our show. So-
Unscripted podcast. There you
Unscripted
go.
podcast.
We don't even play by our own rules.
That's right. So yeah, this is the episode of Waco. I mean, I didn't know much about the backstory of the Branch Davidians. In fact, I've heard of the name, but so I'll give you guys.
I would hope so. That shit was plastered on the fucking news.
Right, but I haven't ever researched this, and so I've run into it as we've done other topics involving cults or what have you. But so for those of you that there probably are some listeners that don't know what Waco
Yeah.
is. So just in case, just like when we did Kurt Cobain, we figured we should tell you who the fuck he
what
is.
the fuck happened.
Yeah. So the Branch Davidians, or the General Association of Branch Davidian Seventh-day Adventists, are a religious sect which was founded in 1955 by Benjamin Rodin. They are an offshoot of the General Association of Davidian Seventh-day Adventists, established by Victor Houteff in 1935. They got a flag and shit.
Okay.
So
Everybody got a flag.
everybody
bro.
got a flag.
Can't take shit over if you don't.
I don't want to turn this into a
Religious.
Branch Davidian episode, so I'm not really going to get into too much. But essentially, yeah, I mean, it got passed down 1935. There were Hotef and his followers settled on a tract of land on the western outskirts of Waco, Texas, where they built a compound called the Mount Carmel Center.
I feel like whenever you put the term compound into a story, some shit's about to break.
Something's
up.
going
Even
down.
if everybody has like the most like, above board morals and
Right.
fucking wants and intentions, it goes to shit the minute you call it.
Just
a
don't
compound.
call it a compound.
Yeah.
Building, center,
Yeah. Center.
something.
I don't know. Center's got
Center's
a fucking
getting
got
it,
a kind of a fiery idea behind it.
It does. So after Hotef died in 1955, his wife Florence became the leader. And let's see, I think that got passed down.
So what made it that she had any I don't know reason to take over? Like, because he's essentially like the prophet of the Branch Davidian,
Right.
right? So why would she just? I mean, was it luck of the draw? She was the one holding the last fucking straw, like.
Well, let me just read this little bit then, because I don't have the answer to that, to be honest with you. But, and I might even say that wrong. I don't know if she necessarily took over. So, this was the beginning of the group, properly known, blah, blah, blah. In 1957, Florence Hotef, that was his wife, I guess.
Yeah.
Sold the Mount, so I was wrong, I misspoke, I think. So, Mount Carmel Center and purchased 941 acres near Elk, Texas, 13 miles northeast of Waco, naming the property New Mount Carmel Center.
She's very
She
very
called it a
original.
center.
She calls us. Okay, guys,
She's
taking notes out
She's
there.
listening.
Don't call your shit a center or a compound.
Yeah.
Those are
After the
no-nos.
failure, I guess she did. After the failure of Florence's prophecy of apocalyptic events on or near April 22nd, 1959, she dissolved the General Association of Davidian Seventh-day Adventists in 1962 and sold all but 77.86 acres of the New Mount Carmel property. Rodin took possession of New Mount Carmel in 1962 and began his efforts to purchase blah, 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 more acres. On February 1973, New Mount Carmel was sold to Benjamin Rodin, Lois Rodin, and their son George Rodin, trustees for General Association of Branch Davidian. From this point on, the property was simply known as Mount Carmel. Upon the death of Rodin in 1978, his wife Lois became the next Branch Davidian. This is like a family,
Yeah, sounds like it.
Sounds like there's no...
Some fucking Highlander shit going on.
Yeah, in 1981, a young man named Vernon Howell, later known as David Koresh, came to Mount Carmel and studied biblical prophecy under Lois Rodin. By 1984, the core group of Branch Davidians shifted their allegiance from Lois's son George to Koresh. The Branch Davidians are most associated with the Waco siege of 1993, which was a 51-day standoff between members of the sect and federal agents. All right. So that's kind of the history of how
we got to
Dave,
to
old Davey,
93. This is how we got to 93.
old Davey took it over.
I am kind of curious as to, I mean, you probably don't know this, but the rift between George and Davey. Because George was obviously being groomed to take over the cult. I'm just going to call it a cult. I don't care.
Okay.
We
were going to talk about that.
We're
a little
just
bit
going to
too,
dive
so
right in.
That's fair.
We're just
That's
going to
fair.
dive right in.
All right.
I'm going to call him a cult. But he was obviously supposed to take over the cult. And then David Koresh takes over under the tutelage of his mother. So I'm just curious as to how he became the heir apparent.
It sounded to me like the people chose him.
That is the way it read.
Yeah. Well,
But
I'd heard that in a few other places.
But I guess the question I was driving at was, how come Mom didn't teach Georgie how to carry them into the future as opposed to Davy?
Maybe she liked Davy better.
Davy's better.
Maybe Davy was diddling Mom. That's right. I figured that's where you were going with that.
Okay. I mean, it's cult. I mean,
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to talk about that. So I changed my theory or my thoughts or whatever on this halfway through researching. The Texas town of Waco has, for many Americans, become synonymous with tragedy ever since the 51-day siege in 1993. And I'm going to paraphrase this because I have a feeling we're going to do a bunch of just kind of banter on this one. So, for those of you that don't know, the Branch Davidians, Shep, the group that Shep is calling a cult,
Compound Center
cult.
The 3 C's.
The ATF and
ATF and the
FBI, all the big ones are basically keeping tabs on this guy. They sent in an undercover, and they're essentially going to go in because they are assuming, or they are saying that they are
gun running, right?
Gun running, yeah, right. Illegal guns and that sort of thing. So, actually, I think it says February 28th, in response to reports that the Davidians had been stockpiling illegal weapons at their compound, the Mount Carmel Center, in preparation for the end of the world, Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms agents raided the property. Their goal? To search for premises and arrest Koresh for unlawful weapons possession. But the plan went south fast.
Dude, you have got to have really fucked up to have federal weapons charges in Texas.
In Texas.
Like, if Texas law enforcement and the federal government shows up in Texas and says, no, you got too much.
Yeah. No, so the first thing is, and I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. So as I was doing research, it just so happened that our friend Paige, who I've become a fan of, she does the Reverie True Crime. She just did back-to-back episodes
on Waco.
Well,
Survivors, right?
She was interviewing Thibodeau, David Thibodeau. I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
if not, we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry, bud. But I listened to those, and I'm going, okay, interesting, because that entire thing was his version of what went down.
Yeah.
Pretty convincing shit, in my opinion. I kind of liked him, actually, and I was like, okay, interesting. So he basically put it like this, that, yeah, they had guns, but they had papers on all of them, and yeah, they were selling, their plan was, it started off that some of the guys just were gun collectors, and they, you're in Texas, dude.
Yeah.
In America. Like people have guns, lots of guns. Right. And so he kind of made it like it wasn't a big, and he goes, we were planning on selling some, but legally.
Right.
So he's like, I don't really know
why they were there.
Yeah, right. They said it was total bullshit. The entire thing. Yes, you over there.
This is an assumption. Maybe you can enlighten us as you go on.
Probably not.
Jonestown put a really bad taste in everyone's mouth, right. And so did Ruby Ridge.
Yeah.
When it came to a bunch of people with guns holed up in a place they call compound.
Right.
We're kind of joking at the beginning, but I mean, some of the cornerstones of things that our country has been built on is freedom of religion, freedom to right to bear arms,
right.
freedom of speech, those kind of things, right to assemble. And not always, but in the past there have been certain issues where these rights have kind of been ignored to some degree when it comes to the agenda of whomever is in the controlling seat.
Right.
So, really trying to do my best to tap dance around that.
Yeah, I get it.
But the point that I was trying to make is, I feel like, at the beginning at least, you had a lot of people with guns, and so maybe somebody wanted to go get an idea of what was happening.
Yeah.
And then I really feel like the original trigger was, okay, we need to get some eyes on what's going on in here.
Which they did.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, statutory rape and pedophilia is the reason this all went to shit.
So that was exactly where I was going next. So the next thing, basically, the group led by the controversial self-proclaimed prophet David Koresh. So I read a bunch of things, and I never really heard him say, I'm a prophet. He said, I am a Messiah. but if you read, like, I actually looked into it, like, the definition for Messiah was something along somebody who is just, like, spreading the word. Not I'm Jesus Christ, or I'm God's son. Like, I never found anything where he said, I'm the son of God, worship me.
Yeah, nothing where he said, I'm the light in the way.
Right. Now, who knows what he said behind closed doors. So the whole problem with this, I think that there was, I don't want to jump ahead, but I don't think shit was handled properly, and I think there was some innocent people that were killed and hurt and involved in some shit, but you can't look past some of the allegations against David Koresh. Diddling young women, young girls,
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
specifically.